Mental Health Monday.
Mental Health Monday.
Yeah. One of the things I used to do when I was working in inpatient was a car group, and I would ask guys in there, and I got these people in here are pretty much, just, suicidal, homicidal, not taking care of themselves or whatever's going on, right?
Yeah.
And on the board, we'll do this car group, which is now my mindfulness group that I do now, session that I do with my clients. And I will write on the board, we'll talk about the cars, and I want you to describe the car. What feeling does it elicit, right? Name 1, 2, 3 of them. Get on the board, boom. And then I come back and I say, do any of us have these feelings right now, right? And of course, in the inpatient, like, nah, I don't. Some be like, oh, yeah, I might do, but this is what's going on. And I was like, when did that stop? And walk them back, right? And they're like, okay, stop when here. So, okay, how can we develop a plan to get back? So, you just put that in practice in a sense.
What's that technique called?
I don't know.
These techniques have names,
but
right?
I would really, I would probably say that's more, it could be a little bit CBT. It was CBT-ish when I started it.
What does CBT stand for?
Cognitive behavioral therapy. So getting in touch with your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, right? And how they connected. As I know everybody, all the therapists is like, that's too generic. It's too simple.
Oh my God.
Okay, man, but listen.
But that's what we're working with right
It's
now.
a good start.
Yeah.
Now, do I think I have incorporated into the mindfulness aspect, which is the act of being present and working with black men so they can connect mind and body and feeling. So they know if I'm stressed out, I can feel it in my, I tend to feel it in my stomach.
Yeah.
I tend to feel it in my chest, tend to feel it in my shoulders and stuff like that. And so I've connected to a more somatic experience with the mind-body connection. So that's a little bit more of a dialectical behavior therapy intervention and mindfulness intervention as well. But you just did pretty much practice that on your own. So that's why you should probably be a social worker.
He said so full circle of this whole conversation. Since we're here right now.
Yeah. But then even, I think, I'm going to kind of going back, the intervention that you, like with working with their client, right? That's going to come up a lot as an advocate. But then again, you see how nuanced and kind of layered that was when addressing that. She had that thought, and then what was going on, loss of happiness, loss of these activities, how can we get those back? You know what I'm saying? When you asked that question earlier, how can somebody deal with something like that? That's a nice little plan, but that is just more detailed than just, hey, just do this.
And it's unpopular, but I understand when people decide to go when there's no more joy in the room for them. I get it. Like, most people are like, no, that's bad. You shouldn't get it. That should never be a good thing. I didn't say it's a good thing. We're saying we understand why these decisions are made, and we understand why some folks would feel not feeling anything or existing would be better than what's going on. But we also take it as our personal job to stand in the way of that, while better understanding the person and what they're going through.
Yeah.
And one of the dudes who's going through it, I was like, hey man, I just want to let you know I love you. So what? I was like, no, I love you. I was like, you don't got to say it back. It's not forced. I was like, I need you to understand that within our friendship that we developed before I found this out about you, I've always made it a point to let you know.
I was like, I asked them, I said, so y'all cool with me still doing my side stuff?
Yeah.
They was like, nah, like, do it. That's gonna make us look good. And I was like, you show. Because every place I've worked in social work, and I've heard horror stories from academia, they don't like that.
Yeah.
Do
you think certain academic programs are changing, or they would like to change?
I think they would like to change. But it depends on, like you said, leadership. And I just think that I'm in a good leadership position.
Okay.
With the folks that I got, that wants to see change. And if we're not evolving or promoting change, then they're gonna feel away. Everybody's not like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've never came to
like that.
Yeah, I've never came to a situation where it's like, oh nah, bring it, whatever you thinking, whatever, really? Because I got some stuff. And they're open to that. So
is that scary though? Do you ever, in that position, we'll keep this part in that position, do you ever feel sometimes the other shoe may drop eventually?
What you mean?
Like, you remember how you said right now you're shutting down your practice in September, right? And what you're doing is you're cultivating the newer generation of students that are going to come out and be therapists. And it's like, do you think this safe space will last for a limited time, or where you are should be fine for the work that you plan on accomplishing for like the next 4 to 5 years?
I'm hoping that it will be, for that 4 to 5 years. I hope that we'll be able to cultivate a space for those new social workers to know that, one, they're wanted in the field, they can do this work, they can be what they want to be, and here is what we want to prepare you for to do once you leave. You know, and so my hope is that in that 4 or 5 year time frame, even 10 years, even when, whatever happens down the road, that's still there. I know everybody's not the same on intention behind that, but it feels like, to me at least, this department of staff is like, we want to create well-rounded, holistic social workers that can get everything they need to get before they get out into the space, because we all went through it, and these are the limitations.
Yeah.
So let's address those limitations before they even get out there.
Are you allowed to say what school you work for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What school you work for?
Virginia State University.
Okay. When it comes to this newer generation of therapists that you guys are creating right now,
Social workers and therapists.
Social workers and therapists. All right, so that's funny. When I what's the difference between a counselor, a social worker, and a therapist? It's a very specific reason I asked this question.
That question comes up all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's used so interchangeably.
Yeah, and it's like it's annoying to me as a consumer, because it's like I had to educate myself and put the right people around me to learn this stuff. And most people aren't really gonna answer those questions in detail. They're usually just gonna answer, all right, that's good enough, I'm gonna go now, before they ask me anything else.
It's funny, and hopefully I'm gonna answer that in a way that makes sense and that everybody can grasp. Like, so you got counseling, social work, and a therapist, right?